Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do some watercoloring and I'm using some colors you're probably thinking these do not go together at all. But I'm using the Salty Ocean, the Lucky Clover, which is one of the new ones, Abandoned Coral, and Squeezed Lemonade. Now I will be adding in a couple different other colors, or at least one, and I'll show you how and why. So I'm starting just with some water and I'm applying the Squeezed Lemonade kind of as my base since it is my lightest color. Then I can always add the darker colors on top of it. I have a piece of distressed watercolor cardstock that I'm working on, and I did not cut this down right now, but I will end up cutting it down a little bit later. So you can always either cut it down right away or after you watercolor it. So then I'm just going to add in some of this Lucky Clover, and I'm just working and blending these colors and just kind of layering on top of one another. So then I'll go in with a little bit of the Salty Ocean, and I just want these colors to blend and be a really bright colored background. So I worked with this for quite a bit. It doesn't look very good right now at all, but I promise that the end result looks a lot different. So I'll add in some of that Abandoned Coral, and then I just like to add more water to kind of blend those colors together. I'll go ahead and skip over some of these parts after I dry it so you can see what it looks like. Alright, so I dried it, and you can see that there's still some parts that are pretty muddy and gray looking. So I'm just going to build this color. I'm adding in more of the Abandoned Coral and just adding some of those brighter colors on top. Now the one thing I noticed was that the Squeezed Lemonade was a lot different than the other colors because it's so light, and that's the color that really kind of made the difference on this. It's what made it more brown and gray. It just didn't blend with those other colors very well. So in the end, what I did was I went in with some mustard seed, which is another yellow, but it's a lot brighter. So it really works a lot better with those other colors. I'm going to insert a picture right here so you can see what that turned out to look like in the end. It just really brightened the card and made it look completely different. So after I got done with my watercolor piece, I set that aside to dry. I have this foil from Ranger, and I'm putting a piece of double-sided adhesive down. All these supplies are linked below so you can see exactly which ones I used. And then I'm going to place my foil on top of that double-sided adhesive. I pulled the other piece off from it. You can see I kind of had a bubble in there, but it's still going to work really well. I'll show you what it turned out to look like. So I'm smoothing that out, and then I can peel it off, and you can see how that foil stuck to the adhesive. My little mess up right there. All you have to do is go back in with the other piece of foil that's still on there, and then apply it, and you can take it off, and it fills in those gaps. This foil is a really awesome product, and it's really great if you don't have the Mink machine or any foil machines or printers, toners, anything like that. So you don't need any of that. You just need the foil and some double-sided adhesive. I have these two dies that I went ahead and die cut out of that foil, and you can see how gorgeous those are. I kind of played around with that on Periscope, which is why I found out like how to die cut and stuff with it. I loved the results, so I thought I would make it into a card. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this image from Avery Elle on a piece of Coordination's 110-pound cardstock. I'm using my Tuxedo Black Memento ink, so I can go ahead and color that in with my Copic markers. I'm starting with the E37. I'm just coloring in the moose with this color. And if you guys aren't following me on Periscope, I'll put a link down below if you want to, so that you can see I kind of just play with different mediums and stuff on there, so you can follow me on there. I went ahead and blended this, or put a little shading with the E39, and then I'm blending this with the E37 once again. I'm just doing some really quick coloring, so I'm skipping over lots of parts because this isn't really anything technique worthy, I would say. So I'm coloring in the antlers with the E31, which is a light brown tan color. And then I'll go ahead and color in the sweater with the B02, along with the ice skates, and then the bottom of the skates with the C3. And I'm actually going to change the color of the sweater at the end because I didn't like how it matched with the background, but I'll show you what color I use later on that. And then I'm coloring in the hat with the Y06, and then a little bit of that blue on the pom-pom once again. Okay, so now I can go ahead and start assembling my card. I'm going to attach this watercolor background to my white A2 size card base. And you can see on that background I also did some water splatters and then picked up the water with a cloth, so it left like that bleached look. And then I'm going to attach the snowflakes with the multi-medium and matte finish. Just adding a little bit to the back. It's a strong adhesive, so you really don't need much. And then I'll do the exact same thing with that other snowflake. And then I can go ahead and adhere the mousse down to my card. So I'm just placing that. I like to put it down first to make sure everything looks good before I adhere it down. And then I'm going to pop that up with my 3D foam squares. I'm using the large ones from Best Creation. And then I'll place that right over the snowflakes. I tried not to cover up too much of it because I really like how they sparkle and shine in the background, but part of it will get covered up. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment. It's from the same Avery Elle stamp set. It says, "'Tis the season to be jolly," because I thought that little moose looked pretty jolly in his ice skates. And then, like I said, the sweater didn't quite match the color in the background, so I'm just going over it with the BG34 Copic, and it's going to add that little bit more of a mint green to it instead of the teal turquoise color. So then I'm just going to add some of these silver dots with my Viva Decor Pearl pen. And this is a really easy way to add faux pearls to your cards because it's a really easy pearl pen to use. And then I'm going over the sweater and the ice skates with my Wink of Stella glitter pen. I just love the way that it adds some shimmer to your card. And then that is my finished card for today, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial with a bright watercolored background and the foiled snowflakes. Make sure if you try this on your own cards that you share it with me on social media. I would love to see them. I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you back here next time. Bye everyone!